Hello everyone, so let's analyze the plight of Dalit and the objectification of women that happens in the story. Fine. So we know that the story portrays the plight of an untouchable Dalit woman. We don't know her name. Okay, so we know Kunjaku. We know his name. We know his sister's name, Rosikuti, but we are not, given the protagonist's name. Maybe the writer has intended, the story writer has intended to show the depth of their plight, the plight of untouchable women through this act. Okay, and we know that the story portrays the physical and mental torture that this girl had endured, and she was mute and pathetic when she was alive, right? She never had voice, and even she was a school teacher, but still she never got that voice to speak out, or to say no to her troubles, and to the difficulties that she faced. But after her death, she transforms into a speaking subject, so now she is given voice. We have even seen her replying right at the face of even God when he called her sinner, right? So now she has that power. But see, this is the real truth. In the society, the Dalits, or the so-called untouchable people, or the lower caste people, this is their real situation. See, she is treated like an object, okay, by Kunjako, or by everyone. She is just taken as an object. Okay, so what happens here is double oppression. First of all, she is oppressed because of her caste she was born into, then because of her gender. So let's analyze it in a deeper sense. So, as I have mentioned earlier, see, our story, is a presentation of the plight of the lower strata in the society. At the same time, it reminds us a constant reminder of the fact that, a subaltern woman can express herself only after the death. Okay, so now let's start analyzing the objectification in the story based on Martha Nussbaum's. So Martha Nussbaum is an American philosopher. Fine, based on her 7 criteria. Okay, and the first one is instrumentality. So what is instrumentality? See, treating a person as an instrument, as a tool. Okay, to meet a certain purpose. So we know in our story, our narrator is a servant who used to work in a family, right? She was physically exploited, and she was made to do manual job, or so she was made to, or she was forced to do the manual job, and her mother too worked there, right, for the same family. And she was also exploited, she was also used, that is, she is also used by Kunjako's father and uncle. So that is instrumentality, using as a tool or instrument. So the next one is denial of autonomy. Fine. That is, denial of the self. Not allowing the expression of the self. That is, the person is not given any independence, or is not allowed that expression of that self. So, and we know here, our girl was not given any freedom. That is, both mother and that daughter worked for Kunjaku's family, and they had little choice, or they never had that their own opinion to choose their or determine their fate. And in spite of becoming a primary school teacher, we know that our speaker became a primary school teacher. Still, she was trapped in exploitative relationship, or that abusive relationship. She was not allowed to talk or allowed to express herself. She was submerged by that fake title of love. And the best word that we can use is that she was treated as a slave. And the third point is inertness, that is treated as inert or lacking an agency. Fine. So, inertness means, lacking the power of action. So, even though she had a job later, she is unable to voice her feelings. Fine. Her feelings was not given any priority, or her voice was not heard. So that is inertness. She is treated as if she is lacking the power of action. That is why Kunjaku constantly abused her even without her consent. See, next point is fungibility. That is the fourth point. It means that a person can be exchanged with something, or can be interchanged with something else, that is can be used as a toy. Here, in spite of having the caliber of becoming a teacher, the narrator and even narrator's mother was treated as mere people to do the domestic work, or as mere physical bodies. So let's move on to the fifth point, that is violability. So it means that a person is treated as though he or she doesn't have any sexual integrity. That is, as a person with loose morals. We have seen Kunjako treating her without any respect, as though she doesn't deserve any respect. Okay, he always abused her sexually, but whenever in their relationship she mentioned about marriage, he would immediately reply or reject that idea with disgust. Often he used to beaten her up, right? And he even spat directly on her face. So she is taken as a person who can be used sexually, as though she is made to be sexually used. Next point is ownership. That is, treated as something, a person is treated as something that is owned by another individual. Okay, that is, here we know our narrator is merely an object that Kunjako owns, like a toy, as I have mentioned earlier, and he can use or he can throw away her whenever he feels like. So, similarly, we have seen that Kunjako's father and his brother also used narrator's mother in the same way. And the next point is denial of subjectivity. Right? Denial of subjectivity means treated as someone, a person is treated as someone whose feelings and emotions need not be taken into account. We know in the story, it is clearly seen that our narrator's emotions or feelings were never given any kind of what acceptance. Reading all these points together, it's definite that our narrator was taken as an object, or treated as an object. Throughout the story, throughout her life, she was exploited, she was silenced, and she was reduced into mere body without feelings. As your assignment, please write about the objectification of the women in the story Spectral Speech. Thank you.